On behalf of the officers and members of the Portsmouth Board of Directors and our diverse membership, I want to welcome you to my neighborhood, Old Town, and extend an open invitation for you to come and see firsthand our historic venues, our eclectic restaurants and shops, and our businesses. And a reminder, this is the time of year when our first Fridays, our concerts in the courtyard, and our farmers market starts up. So please come down and join us on weekends. Whether you're hearing a wonderful concert at Antella's, seeing a blockbuster movie at the Commodore, playing with the kids or the grandkids, which is what I do, at our Children's Museum, or dining at any one of our dozens of restaurants, we know that you can find something fun and interesting to do in Portsmouth. A small housekeeping matter, please remember to silence your cell phones. And in addition, the Chamber will, between today's event, follow us on Chamber 757, and if you're tweeting, please use the hash marks Portsmouth SOC for State of the City. Now, before we begin, would you please stand for the presentation of the colors, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Portsmouth native Dr. Patricia Saunders Nixon of Norfolk State University. And then we ask that you remain standing for the invocation, which will be led by Chaplain Dennis Young from the United States Coast Guard Atlantic Command. Thank you.
For Mark. Colors, turn. Present. Arm.
Oh, say, can you sing by the dawn's early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through perilous fight o'er the rivers we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Right shoulder. Arm. Color. Turn.
I count myself privileged to be here in the midst of you today, and I invite you to bow your heads as we offer the invitation. Heavenly Father, in your word, you have given us a vision of that holy city to which the nations of the world bring their glory. We pray now, behold and visit all the cities of the earth. As we pray today, in particular for the city of Portsmouth, Virginia, our leaders and our citizens, renew the strategic partnerships which form our civic life, we pray, and send us honest and able leaders. Empower them to lead us in eliminating poverty, prejudice, and oppression, that peace may prevail with righteousness and justice with order, and that men and women from different cultures and with diverse talents may find with one another the fulfillment of their humanity. Bless the occasion that brings us together in this place. Bless the food that is laid before us, and grant us renewed opportunities to build a community that is grounded in serving others. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Patricia Saunders Nixon and Chaplain Young. You may be seated. As a service to our citizens and the business community, the Chamber hosts a State of the City event in each of the 5 Southside cities. The information that Mayor Wright will share with us today will provide insight on issues that impact our daily lives and the business in our cities. Mayor Wright, on behalf of those who are here today, we thank you. The Portsmouth Division of the Chamber, along with the business community, look forward to working with you and the other members of City Council and municipal leadership in the days ahead. At this time, I want to invite you to please enjoy your lunch. I want to give special thanks for the generous support of our sponsors. Our series presenting sponsor is Campaign. Our series platinum sponsor is Portsmouth VA Health System. Our series silver sponsors Farm Fresh and Optima Health Plan. And our media sponsor is Cox Communications. I also want to thank our program and table sponsors. Their names are listed in the back of your program today. Now, if you will please hold your applause until I finish with the introductions, I'd like to introduce the members of our head table. Beginning on my far right and your left is Candace Reed, Director of Municipal and Government Affairs. Michael Kerner, Chief Executive Officer of Bon Secours Hampton Roads and today's Platinum sponsor. The Honorable Kenny Wright, Mayor of the City of Portsmouth. Ward Robinette, Regional President, Town Bank Portsmouth, and our series presenting sponsor. Deborah Stearns, Chair of the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce and Senior Vice President at Jones Lang LaSalle. Jack Hornbeck, President and CEO of the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce, and Chaplain Dennis Young of the United States Coast Guard Atlantic Area. Please join me in a round of applause for our distinguished guests. For those of you who are not aware, Jack Hornbeck will be retiring at the end of June after serving 25 years as the President and CEO of the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. Jack, your service to Portsmouth and this region will be very missed. There are also a number of special guests in the audience today, including a number of appointed and elected officials. Please stand when I read your name and remain standing until all introductions are completed. Today we have with us from the City of Portsmouth, Vice Mayor Paige Cherry, Councilman Bill Moody, Councilwoman Marlene Randall, Councilwoman Elizabeth Simmons, Councilman Curtis Edmonds Sr., Councilman Danny Meeks, Portsmouth City Manager John Rowe Jr., and members of the Portsmouth School Board and Dr. David Stuckwich. We are also delighted to have with us Congressman Bobby Scott of the U.S. House of Representatives, Councilman Charles Parr from the City of Suffolk, Councilman Lou Ward from the City of Suffolk, former Council Member Charles Whitehurst from the City of Portsmouth, Ms. Denise Good, representing U.S. Senator Mark Warner, Ms. Andrea Trotter, representing U.S. Senator Tim Kaine, Dwight Farmer, Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, Daryl Gosnell of the Hampton Roads Economic Development Alliance, Craig Quigley, Hampton Roads Military Facilities Alliances, and Art Moy from the Maritime Association. And last but not least, I'd like to ask my colleagues on the Portsmouth Chamber Board to please stand and be recognized. These hardworking public servants deserve our sincerest thanks during these promising times, and we sincerely appreciate your dedication to Portsmouth and this region. Let's give them a big round of applause. And I'm sorry I overlooked our city attorney, George Wilson, and I apologize for that. I've known him for years, so I'm sorry, George. I will now call forward Mr. Ward Robinette for the mayor's introduction.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Once again this year, it is our privilege to be the presenting sponsor for this series throughout the Hampton Roads region, and we are especially thankful for this opportunity here in Portsmouth, our headquarters location for the town bank. In speaking with the mayor earlier, he indicated to me that anything that you really needed to know about him is contained on the inside cover of your program, that I needed to be very quick in my introduction of him because he has 100 people waiting for him outside, and he's got a lot to say. So if you need to know any more information, I invite you to join us tomorrow morning at 6:30 at the Portsmouth YMCA. We'll be walking. Without further ado, I'll introduce Mayor Kenny Wright.
Well, thank you for that warm and quick introduction, Ward. Good afternoon. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming to our State of the City event. Also, I want to thank the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce and the Portsmouth Renaissance Hotel and Conference Center for hosting this event today. Today I stand before you proud and humble to be your mayor. It is truly an honor and a privilege to serve the city of Portsmouth, the city that raised and inspired me, the city that I call home for most of my life. It has been said that if two people agree 100% of the time, then one of them is not necessary. And while we have our disagreements, we challenge one another to be better. I want to take this time to acknowledge all of my city council colleagues. Again, Vice Mayor Paige Cherry, council members Bill Moody, Marlene Randall, Elizabeth Simmons, Curtis Edmonds, and Danny Meeks. Now, each one of these members devotes countless hours to the business of this city and take their appointments very seriously. Together, a new urban story of growth can emerge from our collective choices. Council members, I want to thank each and every one of you for what you do, for your dedication and your service. I also at this time would like to take a moment and thank and remember the legacy of a man whose love for this city was second only to the love he had for his family. He may no longer walk among us, but he is here with us in spirit. The man who redefined this job, the man who played an integral role in the desegregation of our city, the man who coined the phrase, the Portsmouth family. And lastly, but definitely not least, the man who was recognized, which I'll probably never be, as the best dressed mayor in the country, Dr. James Holly III. I want to also take this time to thank the Holly family and especially Miss Murray for allowing us, the Portsmouth family, to be a part of their family and for sharing Dr. Holly with us. He will always be in our hearts. I also at this time would like to report that our new city manager, who was just introduced, John Rowe, and our city attorney, George Wilson, have both hit the ground running. I appreciate their quick response to citizen issues, their excellent leadership and staff, and their supportive response to our council. And I would also like to at this time welcome our new city auditor, Mr. Jesse Thomas, to the city of Portsmouth and to the Portsmouth family. Mr. Thomas, would you please stand? Thank you, sir. You've got plenty of work to do. You know, as the level of government closest to the people, we have had responsibility, or we have a responsibility, to work with citizens to create high-quality, safe places for people to live, work, and play. From community improvements to smart growth planning, municipalities perform many roles in fulfilling our responsibilities, and Mr. Rowe and Mr. Wilson have both done an outstanding job thus far, fulfilling council's policies and visions, and they quickly and effectively implement what we ask. So, gentlemen, again, I want to thank you, and I want to welcome once again our new city auditor, Andre, as he's referred to the Portsmouth family. Thank you. Now, some of you may have heard that some of our sister cities are celebrating a milestone this year. And while we certainly wish to congratulate them on their 50 years of existence, I would be remiss if I didn't mention to both of them that in the city of Portsmouth, we've got schools and churches that are much older than they are, which leads me to wishing the I.C. Norcom Greyhounds a big congratulations as they turn 100 years old this year. So mark your calendars, because that's right, 100 years. Mark your calendars, because this fall we'll be celebrating the legacy of a Greyhound and the I.C. Norcom 100 years of excellence. Our charge to grow Portsmouth, to build or rebuild a thriving city where more families choose to live, a place where children find educational opportunity, where neighbors live in safe neighborhoods without abandonment and blight, and where businesses make new investments and create jobs for people. Because after all, Portsmouth is for people, all kinds of people. While the economy has not yet given us the strength that we all desire, growth is slowly returning. Employment has modestly increased, business activity is flourishing, and this city continues on a path for better financial footing. Although we've persevered through some tough years and tough challenges, I am pleased to tell each and every one of you that the state of your city remains strong and our future is promising. Let me assure you that I am keenly aware of our challenges. I confront them daily, but the strength of our city is not measured by the absence of challenges. The strength of our city is not measured by the lack of resistance. The strength of our city is measured by how well we respond to these challenges and how well we overcome the insurmountable tasks that are before us. It is a defining moment of our generation of leadership, and we, the local government, businesses, and our communities, we are empowered to make change and to encourage growth. Uncertainty around the globe and gridlock in Washington creates challenges. The city's strong history of economic sustainability, along with our AA bond rating, our stable outlook, and conservative budgeting, as well as our proactive management team, will help us see through this period of uncertainty. While we should not excuse Washington for their actions, that should not be an excuse for us not to act. We should not focus on the inability of others to get things right. I do not care how we're doing compared to other cities. What I care about is how are we doing today compared to yesterday. I am confident that we have the leadership and the expertise to continue guiding Portsmouth through its economic challenges and into the future. Our human potential is enough to power Portsmouth growth if we muster the courage and the creativity to unleash it. Others can help us get better, but only we can make us greater. Because after all, Portsmouth is for people, all kinds of people. As in life, time brings all kinds of things to pass. With the spirit of this administration, Portsmouth is poised for a dramatic change. The era of negativity has long had its reign. The period of doubt has run its course. The time has come to move beyond bitterness and pettiness and put our citizens first. The responsibility of those of us in public life is to live up to a certain set of values, not a political party, not a party discipline, and not a political popularity. It is imperative that we live up to the expectations of the people who make up Portsmouth. After all, they elected all of us to serve them. Now, Portsmouth is a special place, a great place for families and for children. We need to do as our forefathers did and as our grandparents and parents taught us. We have to dig deep within ourselves and band together. We have to focus not on what makes us different, but makes us alike. That's our common humanity. It is a core strength and the spirit of the Portsmouth community, because after all, Portsmouth is for people, all kinds of people. We need to work together toward a common vision, building a livable city with thriving neighborhoods that embrace diversity. By tugging at those threads that connect us, this city can become a beacon of tolerance, compassion, and an ultimate gateway for inclusiveness. I will work tirelessly to bring this vision to life, but I cannot do this alone. I need the many diverse and unique voices of the people of Portsmouth to join with me. Now, by listening to our residents and our businesses, our employees, hearing what all of our folks' concerns and addressing them head on, Portsmouth has successively done what thousands of other communities across this nation can only hope to do: a full rewrite of our city's land use regulations. The rewrite, also known as Destination Portsmouth, allowed the city to implement our community's visions to Portsmouth. And recently, the United States Environmental Protection Agency recognized Destination Portsmouth. Now, out of 47 applicants in 25 different states, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency awarded the City of Portsmouth the 2012 National Award for Smart Growth Achievement. So I want to say congratulations to our planning department, our citizens that all had input in this major task, and say a job well done. Congratulations. There's more. I got to tell you, this speech is full of good news. And as the captain, where's Captain Watkins? Captain, for the accomplishments that we've been able to accomplish here in this city during some of the toughest economic times. So and also with planning now, in the area of transportation planning, upgrades to our central signal system, along with the remote communications to 30 intersections were completed. We deployed safety improvements and additional locations. And also, here, listen to these facts, 30 signalized intersections were striped with crosswalks. We installed 130 ADA ramps along 4 of our multimodal corridors. Pedestrian signals installed at 11 signalized intersections. And last but definitely not least, the Mount Vernon Avenue demonstration project was completed. Now, if you all haven't been there, you need to take a ride or a stroll down Mount Vernon Boulevard or Mount Vernon Avenue between Bayview Boulevard and High Street. We've installed bike lanes, on-street parking, and crosswalks were all striped along Mount Vernon. We also added ADA ramps and were installed, as well as pedestrian crossing signals were installed at the intersections of London Boulevard and then another one over on High Street. So I want to say, take a stroll and look at this award that we achieved, and just go down to Mount Vernon Avenue and look at what our country is trying to get to, an area where we all can live, work, and play. You can walk, bike lanes, all of those things. Every bit of that was implemented in our plan and what the city has done. So again, to our planning department, I want to say thank you. And more good news. As a result of our continued partnership with the Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority, 2 of the Hope 6 redevelopment projects, Hamilton Place and Seaboard Square, were officially completed this year. And Seaboard Square won the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials Award of Excellence in Design. So I want to congratulate PRHA. I see the executive director there, his board. Would you please stand up short? I want to congratulate you all for the job well done. You know, we had the distinct honor and privilege last year of hosting the Secretary of HUD, Mr. Donovan, Senator Warner, our very own Congressman Bobby Scott, all came to Portsmouth last year to recognize this great accomplishment. And I gotta tell you, listening to the Secretary, now I wasn't here, I was out of the country, but listening to what the Secretary Donovan said and commented with the works that you did out in Seaboard Square, and his words, this could be a model that we should use throughout the country. That's the Secretary of the great city of Portsmouth recognizing the great work that these folks have done. So again, thank you very much, and we look forward to a continued relationship with PRHA. Now, the city of Portsmouth is also working diligently to renovate abandoned homes and make Portsmouth housing what it should be, more stats. 18 households in Craddock and in Truxton neighborhoods were assisted with the rehabilitation as part of the World Changers program. 4 other homes were owner-occupied, were assisted through the Home Care Housing Rehab Program for the elderly and the disabled. 9 foreclosed units were acquired and rehabbed with approximately $1.4 million from the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. And of those 9 homes, 7 of those homes have since been sold. The city of Portsmouth received, here we go again, another attaboy. The city of Portsmouth received the 2012 Virginia Municipal League Achievement Award for Derelict Structures Program. Now, which endeavors to preserve and safeguard neighborhoods against blight, sustain property values, and protect citizens' investments, and eliminate structures that endanger the health, safety, and welfare of our residents. Now, since this program began, of the 73 derelict structures that were initially identified here in Portsmouth, 11 of them have been completely renovated and 35 of them have been abolished. Again, this city taking head-on the issues of these abandoned and blighted homes. Now, where have you gone throughout this country and not had that conversation? Going up to Washington, D.C., the U.S. Conference of Mayors, it was the #1 topic that most mayors were talking throughout this country. the foreclosed homes, the blighted areas, and what we do. And it gives you a perspective that when you come back, you say things aren't as bad as you thought. And for us to be recognized by the state and our derelict home structures program, I think that's a great achievement. So once again, to our planning department, congratulations. There's more, don't clap yet, there's more. Patrick Small, our Director of Economic Development, received the 2012 Housing Advocate of the Year Award by the Hampton Roads Realtor Association for his work in recognizing the importance of housing to the economy and to the economic development with our Get More in Portsmouth campaign. Now, I don't know how many of you have not seen it, but we've run commercials on television, billboards, radio, with the slogan that you get more in Portsmouth. And let me tell you, it is not just a slogan. You do get more in Portsmouth. Sometimes we get wrapped around the property value and around the real estate rate, and yeah, that's a bone of contention here. But when you look at all of the services and the other things that you get in Portsmouth and compare that with the other cities, you'll see why we ran this slogan, you do get more in Portsmouth. Now also, thanks to the Portsmouth Service League, the Portsmouth Women's Club is undergoing $1 million renovation, and after the renovations are complete, the Women's Club will be a stunning and unique venue with guests able to enjoy inside and outside seating while maintaining and preserving the wonderful vintage character of that building. Now, y'all know this city has had a considerable list of accomplishments. I love touting that. I love as mayor going around bragging, yeah, taking the credit when none of my other council members are in the room, but and then sharing when they're in the room, like we did this, right? But especially given the impact of the financial crisis that this country has gone through, we have marked a fourth straight year of surplus in our general fund during one of the most, again, difficult economic periods in our history, 4 straight years. In addition, we have significantly enhanced our general fund surplus above our unassigned fund balance. We've got a stated policy of 15%, and we're well in excess of that because of some of the tough choices, some of the things that we knew we had to go without, not filling vacancies, not doing some of those things to make sure that we lived within our means during these tough economic times. Now for some of our development projects. In May of 2012, the Harris Teeter grocery store chain opened a 49,000 square foot supermarket on the site of the former Plasma Shopping Center in Churchill. This $9 million investment project has the potential to bring up to $180,000 in annual retail tax revenue to the city. And Harris Teeter was only one of more than 40 other businesses that had openings or expansions in 2012, including East Coast Repair and Fabrication, Accurate Marine Environmental, Alera Toxicology, Fastenal, Metal Skills, AmeriForce, and retailers such as Great Clips, O'Reilly Automotive, Cookout, and Chick-fil-A. And by the way, the grand opening to the Chick-fil-A is April the 25th. Did I get a applause? You know how many people have approached me in these last 2.5 years as to why we don't have a Chick-fil-A in Portsmouth. So I'm looking forward to a sellout crowd on April 25th. But there's more. There is more good news in this city. As a matter of fact, look at your neighbor and say, there's more. There's more good news in Portsmouth. In addition, the old Iceland Northern High School site is being sold for $2.8 million. The sale of this public property to Kroger Marketplace is a new market concept, and while it's the 3rd such store in Virginia, it won't be the last. Kroger has made a concerted effort to increase their visibility in the Hampton Roads region, as well as in the state of Virginia. The first of these stores is in Short Pump, Richmond. The second one was just announced a few months ago in Virginia Beach off of Holland Road, We're going to be the third one here at the IC Norcom site, and I believe they just announced in Suffolk, the fourth one is coming online. So we want to welcome Kroger and all of the great things that they want to bring to this region and to this state. Also, in addition to Kroger, we also were successful in recruiting one of the region's premier development groups, Ellis Gibson Development, to develop the remaining parcels of that whole complex. In addition to Kroger, we plan to have several other parcels for restaurants and other retail shops. So again, this is excellent news for our Midtown corridor. You know, Midtown is emerging as a destination for healthcare companies choosing Portsmouth. Urology of Virginia opened up a new location in the Midtown Medical District in our city. Bon Secours Mary B. Medical Center, thank you, sir, for all of what you guys do here. They just completed $2 million renovation of their intensive care unit. And in addition, there's an $8 million renovation and expansion was completed at the Martha W. Davis Cancer Treatment Center. That was done in May. Also, right here in the city of Portsmouth, coming in on time and on budget, we opened the doors for our new Portsmouth Judicial Center. The new center brings all three courts, circuit, general district, and juvenile and domestic relations under one roof, while also housing the offices of our Commonwealth Attorney, the sheriff's offices, and court service professionals. This $78 million investment in this Portsmouth Judicial Center serves as a catalyst for new employment and significant private sector reinvestment. The complex was awarded, here we go again, right here in Portsmouth, the complex was awarded the Best Institutional Public Building Award of Excellence by the Hampton Roads Association for Commercial Real Estate. Once again, our city is being recognized by organizations at the national level, statewide level, and region for all the great things that are going on right here where you get more in Portsmouth. A critical partner in keeping our community safe, and this is really good news, is our police and our fire departments. Our police, well actually, let's go, our fire and rescue emergency services, first of all, you should be extremely proud of the great work of this department this year. Calls for help fell for the first time in recent memory. Emergency medical calls were down by 4% over the previous year, and responses to fire fell by 16%. But more significantly, there were no fire-related deaths in the city of Portsmouth for the second year in a row. This is a testament. This is a testament to the dedication of the men and women in our Portsmouth Fire and Rescue and Emergency Services Department. I want to thank Chief Beck Barfield. If you and your staff would please stand for the job well done. Keep up the good work. Now let me finish. There's more good news. Also in 2012 marks the fourth straight year that crime reduction happened in the city of Portsmouth. A fourth straight year of crime reduction. Uniform crime reports dropped 11% in 2012 versus 2011. This breaks down to about 19.25% drop in violent crimes and a 1% decrease in property crimes. So many thanks to Chief Ed Hargis and the fine folks of our police department. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done. Again, as they say in Portsmouth, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. These things are happening right here in our city. Now, the city continues to invest in our cultural resources. Now, I think this is where we have our greatest potential, in the area of the arts. This year has brought the successful name change to the old courthouse galleries to the new Portsmouth Arts and Cultural Center. The Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Museum received a grant to purchase a mobile storage system to ensure the long-term preservation of its collection and completing its full second year after the renovation. that the Children's, this is the darling Portsmouth, the Children's Museum of Virginia has attracted over 400,000 visitors from across this region and beyond. And through the efforts of the Museum Foundation, the Children's Museum became a proud participant in the Museums on Us program sponsored by Bank of America. Now I gotta tell you, this $14 million investment has proven to be a home run for our citizens. So to the Museum Foundation, to the city, and everyone that had a part in the revitalization of that Children's Museum, we all want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely. Now, it also is exciting to watch and talk about the transformation that's taking place over at Paradise Creek. If you haven't been there, you've got to go. The groundbreaking was a little over a year ago for the first phase of this magnificent urban park, which was opened at the end of 2012. With the help of many generous donors, the Elizabeth River Project has created 2 miles of trail, green parking and entrance roads that absorb runoff. That's right, now green parking and entrance roads actually absorbs the runoff. So I didn't think that was fascinating until I went there one day when it was raining, but you'll get to appreciate it at different stages. Also, there's a 275-foot bridge, an earthworks mountain, and you gotta climb the earthworks mountain. I gotta tell you, it's a lot easier coming down than it is going up. Please go there, and they're now revitalizing the second phase, which is a 29 acres of urban forest with native trees, shrubs, and flowers. Now this is all going on in the great city of Portsmouth, and it makes Portsmouth a Hampton Roads leader in creating a more livable and sustainable community. So, is he finished with good news? Not yet, not yet. I'm also pleased to announce that the Portsmouth Rotaries Paint Your Heart Out and the Great American Cleanup are partnering with the City of Portsmouth to present our first ever citywide beautification initiative. We call it Pretty Up Portsmouth. Now, although some of the Pretty Up Portsmouth projects have already begun, the official kickoff is April the 20th at 7:30 a.m. in City Park. That's April 20th, 7:30 a.m. at City Park. I'm asking for all of our civic leagues, churches, businesses, volunteer and community partners to join us in showing unity in our community through this major beautification initiative. And at this time, I want to give a huge thank you to the Portsmouth Baptist Association for their very successful, and I don't know how many of you have heard of it, Operation Inasmuch. Last fall, I was invited to come into a couple of meetings, and I came like I normally do. You know, people want to let me know what's going on. I sat in and watched over 30 churches with members of their church sit and talk about how we can do exactly what we're doing now with Pretty Up Portsmouth. So I was very pleased to be out at City Park this fall on a Saturday morning with over 300 people, with all 30 of those churches involved, going out to people's homes, doing repairs, painting, auto repair, lawn care work, all of that. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank the Portsmouth Baptist Association for your service to the least of these and for your service to this community. Thank you very much. Now, our successes as a community shine when we all work together in partnership with one another. That's no secret. Moreover, our future will be determined by our ability to work together to solve problems that we all face. Teamwork is what will move Portsmouth forward. We are one team. With this attitude, we can provide the people who live and work here with an exceptional quality of life. As residents, businesses, and leaders in this community, we must all be sure that we're doing what we can to reach out and welcome new neighbors and visitors to our city. And as former President John F. Kennedy once said, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. So now I'm saying to you, don't ask what Portsmouth can do for you, but what can you do for Portsmouth?
It is time for us to tell our story. It is time to tell the true story of Portsmouth. It is time for us to ensure that the Portsmouth we know and love becomes the Portsmouth that everyone knows and loves. We should be able to answer the question, why Portsmouth? We must be able to tell others why we moved to Portsmouth, why do we go to school in Portsmouth, why they live and work in Portsmouth, and why we think Portsmouth is a great place to raise a family. By telling our story and inviting our out-of-town friends and business associates to experience what we all know. By doing that, we will attract outside investors who are looking for a city that shares their sense of community spirit. This is a time to renew, to reunite, and to reinvest in our beloved city of Portsmouth, because after all, Portsmouth is for people. All kinds of people. So please join me in watching this brief video, and I'll be back with some closing remarks. Rotate.
The Portsmouth family is very proud of their city. In fact, we believe Portsmouth is for people.
A very caring and closely knit community, Portsmouth is a city where helping one's neighbor is still the norm, and where community involvement, volunteering, and citizen engagement are activities enjoyed by many.
I think one thing I'd most like the residents of the city to know is that their government's staffed by responsible, capable, caring individuals. This city's made a lot of progress over the past several decades, and that's a testament to the leadership of its city council, of its employees, and it's a testament to our commitment to serve here in the city, and that's what we do, we serve.
It has served the community well. Because there has been a kind of closeness, a kind of sense of community between the officials of Portsmouth and the citizens.
An inclusive community, we are a diverse city, and we embrace our multicultural heritage. Our distinct attributes make us more aware of world issues, more adaptable, and more passionate about Portsmouth. Our strength is our diversity, and our success is evidenced by our passion.
People don't know what a wonderful little village Portsmouth is. You see the same folks at the farmer's market, and then you see them at the Friday night concert.
You have families that have lived in Portsmouth for generations, and I think it's because of the sense of the community. Everyone you meet in Portsmouth is so Portsmouth positive. So it's a great deal of pride that people here have in their community.
Portsmouth is a city open for business. We welcome entrepreneurs and investors because we see the potential and value in those who see Portsmouth as a place of opportunity, advancement, and a sustainable community.
I just knew, I said, man, this is a place I want to be, where people really come up and say to a stranger, is there anything I can do for you?
For us, we found it to be a very welcoming city to do business in. We've been welcomed by, civic leaders and business leaders and community leaders who all seem genuinely happy that we're here.
Am I going to ever leave Portsmouth? Oh, no. No. I love where I am. It's just a great place to be. I've been here and I have enjoyed every minute that I have been here in downtown Portsmouth.
Portsmouth offers companies a strong and skilled workforce, and this resource is directly connected to Portsmouth Public Schools, Tidewater Community College, and workforce development training programs. Council's vision of a robust economy for working men and women will be attained because of enduring relationships with our educational partners and our commitment to a lifelong learning community.
A lot of people don't know about the programs that children are able to be a part of in the city of Portsmouth.
I think the public schools in Portsmouth is first rate. And the things that they're doing in their schools and how they're partnering with Tidewater Community College is first rate.
Portsmouth is a city rich in natural heritage and history. We value both. Take a stroll along the seawall that follows the Elizabeth River, or spend an afternoon in one of our parks, and you'll get a good sense of who we are.
Growing up, I only was able to come to the eastern part of the state once a year when my parents were on vacation, and that's the only time I was able to see deep water and boats. So to me, this is a real treat to be here. It's almost like being on vacation all the time.
Well, I think one of the things that I like best about Portsmouth is that I've never lived anywhere where I've been able to walk to so many fun things.
Our historical neighborhoods dot the landscape with architecture from times past, and we continue that tradition by ensuring that landscape design is incorporated into our commercial, education, and municipal sites. Our pride is in the journey we have made together, and our vision for tomorrow is to continue to enhance neighborhoods and a sense of community where all citizens have a strong sense of place and a belonging to their community.
We have probably the most unique residential/commercial area in Old Town. And outside of Old Town Alexandria, which is in the DC area, there's nothing like it.
And I think people are pleased and surprised when they see the lovely homes and the lovely neighborhoods and the sense of community that the citizens of Portsmouth have in nearly every neighborhood.
You can find more waterfront properties in Portsmouth for a better price than you can in any surrounding area.
Even though we have a higher tax rate, the property values are lower, so you can get a lot for your money in the city of Portsmouth.
Portsmouth is a city that loves a parade and loves to have fun. We love art, we love music, and we love the inspired people who call our city home. Come and enjoy our theaters, music venues, and art galleries. And a rich quality of life is what Portsmouth promises to deliver to its citizens, visitors, and tourists.
There's a multitude of activities that your children can be involved in. There's all different kinds of sports and parks, recreational activities.
There's the Children's Museum, there's the Sports Hall of Fame there. Roger Brown's restaurant's really good to eat at. A lot of local small restaurants that are fun to go and just hang out and have a good time.
Find a chef-owned restaurant suited to your taste, shop in our specialty boutiques, or enjoy our multifaceted specialty markets. Our creativity is everywhere, and our festivals and concert venues are packed with excitement. Our diverse talent and energy, paired with passion and determination, are attributes that will propel Portsmouth to greatness and create change and new directions.
We are one great city. We have good schools, we have good business opportunities, and living in Portsmouth is exciting.
But I have to agree with something that Ida K. Jordan has said repeatedly through the years: Portsmouth is its people, and that's its strength.
Now let me wrap up by saying I took my coat off so you could all see me. I didn't want to make sure you didn't miss any of this. But while we're raising our standards in this city from a capital projects perspective and a beautification perspective, in many ways we have not raised the standards for ourselves. As we look at each other to move this city forward, we also have to take an honest look at our health. Therefore, I challenge the entire city of Portsmouth to unite and be a part of the Mayor's Get Healthy Portsmouth initiative. So please join me on April the 27th at Intello's Pavilion for a day of fun and fitness for the whole family. April 27th, Intello's Pavilion for a whole day of fun and fitness. Now, according to the Healthy Portsmouth Consortium, 39% of adults in Portsmouth are overweight, and Portsmouth has the state's second highest rate of death due to diabetes. Let this year be the year that we stop pretending that obesity will go away on its own. What is daunting on our own becomes doable when we all work together. Therefore, my goal is to see all of us combine to shed 500,000 pounds this year. Each of us must take personal responsibility for our health. It truly is up to each and every one of us. We can be like many other cities and keep getting fatter and fatter, or we can place a new priority on our health, and in the process, we can extend our life expectancy and our overall quality of life.
So I want to thank everyone for coming, and I want to thank everyone, I mean everyone who loves Portsmouth. Loving Portsmouth does not mean you're a passive cheerleader watching and hoping for good things to outcome on the sidelines. No, loving Portsmouth means being in the game and having a passion for Portsmouth. As so many residents, activists, and leaders are showing, love means action. Love means assuming responsibility. And love means doing what's difficult sometimes, because love is not always easy. In fact, love is always the tougher road. It is easy to be a cynic. It's easy to be a naysayer and to stand on the sidelines and complain. However, the harder the road is to be constructive, to be contributive, and to sacrifice, the better it is for each one of us as people, as a community, and as a city. In closing, let me say this. I will do my very best, but I will not do this alone. I know you will stand with me as we revitalize Portsmouth as partners. I am energized, I'm optimistic, and I'm enthusiastic about this. Portsmouth has undergone many transformational changes over the past 250 years. Did you hear that, Virginia Beach? 250 years, Chesapeake. 250 years. Yet, here we are, still standing. Here we are, right here together. So let's continue to work together. Let's believe in each other. And most importantly, let's create an inclusive community where our children can be proud to one day raise their children in a thriving, revitalizing city. It is truly time for a new beginning. It's time for a new birth, a rebirth in this historic seaport city. Because after all, Portsmouth is for people, all kinds of people. So again, for those of you that are interested in joining me in the Get Healthy initiative, please make sure you pick up your headbands. We've got headbands because we're going to take a walk. Now, as luck would have it, today is the American Heart Association's National Walk Day. You think they heard about Big Boy here in Portsmouth? Well, to commemorate that day, I'm inviting each and every one of you to join me and quite a few others who are already outside at the boardwalk as we walk from City Hall, from here to City Hall and back. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you for this long speech, but this was worth it. This is good news. These are things happening in our city, and we need to know about it. So again, thank you, and may God continue to bless the great city of Portsmouth. And this is something that we should all be proud of. This is good news. Thank you, and God bless you. We're going this way. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to pick up a stride now. All right, well, who's the pace setter? Come on, guys. We need somebody to set the pace.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
That's right. Oh, there you go. Pace, that's right. That's your name. Let's go. Let's swing them. We got to swing. That's right. Let's get a swing. High five, high five. Let's go. High five, high five. Let's go, Portsmouth. Let's go. 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 All right, we got to set a date and time. We got to do this once a week.